Welcome back to the Marianne Hickman Show. My name is Marianne Hickman, and we are about to talk about talk tips number 17. How do I do a CTA from stage and actually make it work? Check it out. All right, how do I do a CTA from stage that actually moves the audience? Well, first of all, if you don't know what a CTA is, let's define that really quick. A CTA is a call to action. This is the thing where your audience does what they're supposed to do by the end of your presentation, downloads your book, purchases your program, scans the QR code, whatever you used your entire presentation to build to, this is the moment. This is probably the most important moment other than the transformation that you have provided. But even then, transformation without a next step, a very natural next step that your audience actually wants, then why are you speaking? Why are you getting on stages? Why are you doing podcasts? Why are you doing any of this if you're not having a call to action that helps your audience get to the next level with you? Because the greatest disservice you can do to your audience is to spend a half an hour or 60 minutes or however much time you had on stage with them and then leave them with nothing to do. There will be people that were so moved by your presentation that they want to take the next step with you. So before I tell you how to do a CTA, first of all, plan on having a CTA. Plan on taking the next step with the audience. I'm going to do another talk tips on how to build that. But now let's just imagine you're done your presentation, you've done your podcast interview, and it's time for the audience to move. You and I have both seen people on stage time after time after time again that either forget to do a call to action altogether. There's no way to move forward with them. Or they throw up a QR code or they say, text me this thing, and nobody does it. It's like 2% conversion if you're lucky. And that's because the audience, we need you to hold our hand. We need you to walk us through what to do. We need to make sure we have time to pull out our phone and get to the website and fill in our information before we go on to the next speaker. Because if you don't leave time for us to do that, we're afraid as audience members that we are going to miss something. And we as audience members came to this event not to miss anything. So give us some time to do that. Also, your call to action should be singular. It's not call to action. It's call to action. Just one thing. So if you're telling the audience, text me and scan this QR code, now my audience has confusion. And a confused mind doesn't buy. So one thing for the audience to do, one simple action to take. I don't want to give options at this point. I want to lead them where the natural, singular next step is. So it's not herding cats, all right? Now, your call to action could be one of several different things. It depends on the stage that you're on, whether it's yours or somebody else's, and it also depends what the host of the stage has allowed you to do. Maybe they won't even let you do a giveaway for the audience. Maybe it's a super high-end stage and that's not what you're there for. Or maybe you are owning your own stage. It's your stage and you can decide what to do with it. So you can do a pitch as a call to action where you're exchanging money and you're sending people to the back of the room and they're swiping credit cards and you're doing all that. Or maybe it's just simply a follow me on Instagram or message me this number. It doesn't matter what at this point the call to action is. The steps of execution are precisely the same, but just be aware that depends on the stage where you're at as to which call to action you're allowed to do. Here's the thing, baseline. This may sound weird, but when you're in front of an audience, you need to treat the entire room as if they have the collective abilities of a class of kindergartners. And I don't say that to insult anybody, but you have to think about where everyone is coming from. Some of them have their phones out like this, and some of them have notes that they're taking. You've got to keep everyone with you, moving at the same pace, at the same time. There are people that don't know how to work their phones as well as other people. There are people that type faster than other people. I want to leave room for everyone to be together. So I'm going to be very patient and I'm going to repeat myself a ton when it comes to my call to action. So I'm going to break down an example for you and I'm going to describe the steps as I go. So let's just say, for example, I'm speaking at somebody else's event. I've delivered my keynote. As part of my keynote, I have a free book to give away. Or in this case, let's just say one of my most popular calls to action is the free podcast database, all right? So if I say, hey, in just a moment, I'm going to be throwing up a phone number for you to text. So everyone pull out your phones right now. Now what I'm doing is I'm warning the audience. I use this phrase all the time, in just a moment. What that does is it perks people's attention. It also warns my staff that I'm going to be doing something. So if I need their help, they're paying attention too. It also gives a heads up to my MC that something is about to shift. Maybe the presentation is just a few minutes from ending and they got to get ready for coming back up on stage and welcoming on the next speaker. So this phrase, in just a moment, put that in your pocket. Keep that one, because that is a beautiful transitional phrase that perks up the entire room, back of the room and front of the room. So I've also told them what I'm about to do before I've done it. I say, in just a moment, I'm going to throw up my phone number on the screen and make that available to you. So pull out your phone. So I'm told them what I'm about to do, and then I've given them one instruction. Pull out your phone. Now, I'm going to go on to the next step. Open up your phone and open up your text message box. Now, most people instinctively will open their phone and go to Instagram. I don't want them to do that, which is why I'm saying everyone together, pull out your phones, and sometimes I'll even say, pull out your phones, show me your phones. And I wait for the entire audience, or at least 90% of them, to pull out their phones and show it to me. And then I'm going to say, open up that text application and put in this number. And by then, the number's up on the screen. And I'm walking them through it. I'm saying, type in this number, 801-509-5495. And then I would do it again. I repeat it again, because some people are like, huh, what was that? I can't see. Someone's head's in the way. The number's too low on the screen. So I'm going to say it again. 801-509-5495. And before I move to the next step, I'm going to say, raise your hand when you've got it. And I wait for the entire room to raise their hand. And then when I see those hands popping up, I'll say 10 more seconds. I'll repeat the phone number one more time, 801-509-5495. Here's what's happening. I'm giving my audience very, very clear steps. And you know what? There's nothing else to do at this point. There's no other speakers that they're distracted by. We are focused on the call to action. Now, I'm going to move on. Now, here's what I'm going to have you do, ladies and gentlemen. Text me the word podcast. Doesn't matter if it's uppercase, doesn't matter if it's lowercase, and this is also on the screen, by the way. So in my slides, if I have slides, I'm putting that up there. If I don't have slides, I'm writing it down. If I don't have that, I'm extra repeating myself. And I say, text me the word podcast. I don't want you to put it in a sentence. I don't want you to put any emojis next to it. Just text me the one word podcast. And when you do, my system is going to send you a response. Now, text me the word podcast, P-O-D-C-A-S-T. And again, raise your hand when you're done. Once the audience is all with me and I know we're all in the same step, then I'm going to describe what happens next. When you text me that phrase, you're going to get a link. Now, I want you to click that link and fill out the form. And now, if I'm really got some good stage time and I've got all of my ducks in a row and I've got my slides, I'm going to take a screenshot of the landing page that they are going to see, and I'm going to put it up on my screen so that they know they're in the right place. Now, I could end and say, text me the word podcast, I'll send you the link to the database, thank you very much, and be done. But if I have more time and I want more closing, I'll walk them through the next step. You're going to put in your name. You're going to put in your phone number. You're going to put in your email. Raise your hand when you got your name done. Good. Raise your hand when you got your phone number done. Awesome. Raise your hand. Double check your email. Make sure it's spelled right. Get your email in there. Because I'm going to send you this podcast database to your email. And if it's misspelled, it's going to bounce and you won't get it. So make sure you put your email in. Double check the spelling. All right. Check the box and hit enter. Now, as soon as you do that, you're going to see an email hit your inbox. Raise your hand if the email's already gotten there. Oh, maybe not yet. Raise your hand if you need 10 more seconds. Okay, good. Do you see how I'm building in time? I'm building in time for each step. So one, that there's nothing else to do, so I get a highest percent chance of closing everyone in the room. Also, they have time to walk through the steps. They have time to enter in their email. Maybe it's really long. Maybe they misspelled their name, or maybe they accidentally closed the app, or whatever it might be. I'm leaving space. This is what gets me 80% plus enrollment out of the room. Now, sometimes you can get over 100%, and that happens when people in the room send your stuff to other people, and that's a great clue that you've got something that's awesome for your audience, so good that they want to share it on your behalf to other people. When you do this CTA step by step by step, slow it down, walk them through it, help them understand what the follow-up is, you have the highest % chance of converting that stage from audience to leads, from leads into buyers, and from buyers into raving fans, and your business gets the revenue it needs. Don't miss this critical step. Make sure you practice this before you take the stage, and we'll see you in the next Talk Tips.
Marianne Hickman here again. Listen, I hope super helpful for you. Maybe you'll learn something new. Share with me in the comments what was valuable. Or if you have this whole separate question like, hey, I wanted to know about this. I wanted to know about stage fright. I want to know how about my presentation on stage. I want to know about how to dress on stage. Anything that you want to know that's relevant to growing your business through stages, put in the questions. Because guess what? I go through and answer all of those personally. That's not an agency or a VA. That's me going through and looking at your questions because you are who I am here for. So last thing is I want you to get this database. If you haven't gotten it already, now I've got thousands of downloads on this thing, so maybe you got it, but if not, make sure you go to mariannehickman.com/database. What that's going to do is take you to a page. You're going to input all of your information. We're going to send the database to you. You're going to request access to it. I keep it locked down so I can make sure I get it to just the right people. And you're going to request access. And then once you have that, you're going to go through and apply to podcasts that have the topic that you'd be an expert speaking on. Here's the thing. I get this database updated twice a week. So there's always new stuff in there. And if you're a podcaster, there's even a list of guests that you can have on your show on that podcast. Maybe you end up doing a podcast swap and you grow your audience that way. Regardless, I want you to get it. So mariannehickman.com/database, and we'll see you in the next Talk Tips.